Good evening.
Good evening, neighbor. How are you?
Good. Okay, here are your boys.
Eric and Una, good evening. How are you guys?
You're good and you?
We good today. Yeah, there's energy today. Hey, yesterday you guys are like not interested at all. Where's Una?
He's right beside me.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk to me. Okay, it's fine. Eric, tell me, you're very excited today. How's the day?
It was fantastic.
What did you do?
I did maths.
Besides schoolwork, what did you do during break with your friends, after school, while you were waiting for your transport? What did you do?
We played soccer and talked to
Oh, you like
what we were during the holidays.
Okay, pretty cool. Who do you support? Which team do you support?
Huh?
Which soccer team do you support?
Highlands soccer team.
Oh, that's nice. Of the famous ones, the ones that appear on TV, which ones do you support?
Al Nassr, I think.
And because of Cristiano.
Eh,
Wow. All right. I like Messi. So yeah, you and I probably won't get along. That is so cool, man. Let us start with our lesson. I think Oratile is habitually late. He'll be here in no time. We might get classmates, 2 or 3 more classmates. There's already 3 of us, so we can only accommodate 2 more, so that there's 5 of us. So we don't want too many people in this class. So we might get new classmates next week.
they are running up and down numbers.
Yeah, we're running on. Do you like cars? I like cars. So I want to show you a car that I grew up idolizing. It's a car I thought I was going to drive when I grow older. Don't know what's showing on your screen there. Yeah, is that what's showing on your screen?
Bugatti.
Bugatti Veyron. Do you know it?
Yes.
Wow. When I started university long ago, 20 years ago, I used to have this car as my screensaver. Yeah, on my computer there, the first computer I ever had, I had this as my screensaver. Actually, this particular picture, I thought I was gonna drive a Bugatti.
I like this one that is on YouTube.
Is it?
Eh,
What color is it?
I think it's color red or black.
Is it the one I just like was yellow? Yeah. Then there was Oratilo is just joining us. Let me see if okay. Yeah, he'll be with us not so long to come. There was also a Lamborghini. Murcielago. Which Lamborghini do you like?
Aventador.
Lamborghini Aventador. That's right. Let's see. Yeah. When we talk about cars, now you want to talk to me. I misspelled it. Aventador. All right. All right, Tile, good evening and welcome. How are you?
I like
I'm good. I'm good. Do you like cars? Do you like the Aventador? Lamborghini. Okay, my internet is really letting us down. Sorry about that. Trying. Yeah. How much do you think this car costs?
1 million something.
1 million something.
2
Yeah,
million.
that's why we are doing rounding off today. Because this is what these cars cost. Right. This what this.
Yeah.
Can you say this number? This number here.
170.
100, 170,687.95.
And 95 cents. Remember, we did cents yesterday. There's also this number here as well. Right.
10,000.
Sorry. Yeah, you can go.
10,260.25 US dollar is $541.
500 is equal to 10,000. Crazy, eh? Right. So for you to drive this car, you probably would have to win the lottery. So let's see. What's happening now? I can't go to the lottery. Okay, let me go to
Cybertruck.
the lottery on this tab. Lottery prize.
Gambling.
For you to be able to drive this car, you probably would have to win the lottery. Let's just go to lottery.
Yeah.
That game.
I think I'll take the ping pong.
The
The
people.
second one.
Oh, pictures, man. I'm looking for lottery, the latest prize money of the lottery. How much it is and stuff.
6 million and 19 million. 6 million, 9 million, 25 million.
I'm doing this.
This is not what I want. But we will get there. We will get there. We're going to do rounding off. So what I'm showing you right now is the real life examples
Money.
of how you're going to use rounding off. Can somebody say this number?
Which one?
I'm trying to highlight it. I don't know why it's not highlighted. But this one, can you see my cursor?
Eh.
Group pool price. Oh, they made sure it's
34 billion, I think. I think it's a billion.
It's a billion. No, say the whole number.
24 billion. 24. Oh yeah, 24 million 833 125
And 75 cents.
75 cents.
Yeah, it's 24 million. But if somebody won this much money, we probably won't say it out like this. We'll probably say, oh, we never want 24 million, right?
24 million.
Okay, never talk. I know 24 million. We won't say, oh, 24 million 837 rands, 125 rands, and 75 cents, right? So that's where you come across this idea of rounding off. Why do we round off stuff? We round off stuff because you want to move to a number that's easier to say, number one. Number two, a round figure. So by a round figure, we mean obviously a number that would end with a 0. All right, we'll get back to those numbers. For now, let's do simple numbers. This is what Ona probably does at school. Oh my goodness, let me do it with a straight line because I don't have the best of handwritings. So here's a straight line here. I think Ona at school, they do something like this called a number line. We all did that. Okay. So let us have this point here as a 0. You even know that that's a 0. And then let's have this point as a 10. What would be the halfway line between 0 and 10? What would be
You
the value?
didn't say it for us. We can't see.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to have to start from scratch so you can see. Getting ahead of myself. Sorry, man. Here we are. It's loading. Thank you so much, Eric. Okay. So we are going to do a number line from here to here. And do something we used to do, I don't know, grade 1 or so.
In grade 1 till grade 3 and 4.
Yeah, number line, right? So then we'll have a 0 here. And then we'll have a 10 here. What will be the midpoint here? The halfway line. Oh my goodness. What do you think I should write here?
5.
5. So it's 5. So 5 is a midway point. It's halfway between 0 and 10. Remember, our number starts. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, let me, third time lucky. Okay, that's a better looking 5. Okay, so this is 0, this is 5, and this is ID. But let's just agree that it is 10. So any number that's between here, from 5 to 9. So this is 6,
7.
7. It's getting worse and worse. Eh? Then we'll have 8 here. And then we will have 9 here. So any number that is, including 5 actually, is any number that we find from this point, right about this point, is closer to 10 than it is closer to 0. So now we have here, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, maybe we have 4. Yeah. So any number that's 4 and below is closer to 0. So here we'll say leave S is, I am not correcting this one. I'm load shedding now. Also, my surface here is uneven. This is why the mouse is. Is. Anything from here, you add 1, right? So let us round off to the nearest 10. For now, we are rounding off to the nearest 10, but this principle applies to everything else. Let's take 36, for instance. If we are rounding off to the nearest 10, this one is a unit, this one is a 10, right? We are looking to have our answer as a 10 of a sort. All right, Till, I know you know the answer. So what's 36 rounded off to the nearest 10?
40.
It will be 40. Why? Because we are going to look at this.
The unit.
The unit. If the unit is greater than 5, if it's anywhere between 5 and 9, we are going to add 1 to the 10. So this 10.
If it's than 5, we round it down.
I beg your pardon? This one becomes 4, and then we have 40, right? All right, let's do it this way then, 33. Eric, what would be 33 rounded off to the nearest 10?
20.
No. This is why we have this. We say live as is. You don't subtract. So this 3, you don't subtract this 3. You leave it as it is.
Oh, it's
So
going to be 30.
it's going to be 30, correct? Right. So you just need to know this rule, that we never subtract, we add or we leave this as it is. We just change this number into a 3. Let me give you a few more examples just to establish that we have an understanding. Let me say 47. So that would be A. Our B, let's say 75. Okay, let's move on to another one. Let's say 22. And yeah, let's have like 6. 61 maybe. 88. I did this afternoon. I did 88. The last one. 71. Oh, actually, let's go. 47. What would be 47 rounded off to the nearest 10?
50.
That will be 50, right? We'll look at this unit. The unit is bigger than 5. It's somewhere here. So we are going to add 1 to the tens. So this 4, we are going to make it 5. And then the 7 is going to be 0. Remember, when you round off, all your answers end with a 0. As soon as your answer does not end with a 0 and you are asked to round off to the nearest 10, the nearest 100, then you know it's incorrect. It has to end with a 0. I know sometimes they do ask you to round off to the nearest 5. We will do that a bit later. Eric, 75, rounded off to the nearest 10. What is it going to be?
80.
Correct. Correct. Because this 5 is somewhere, so it is included on the numbers that are closer to 10 than they are closer to 0. Then this 7, we add a 1. Then we have an 8 here. And then the 5 becomes a 0. 22. Eric, what do you think the answer is?
22. 22. 20.
You're not sounding so confident, hey? Say it with your chest. What's your answer?
20.
20. Yes, it's 20 because this 2 here is closer to 0 than it is to 10. Therefore, we are going to leave our 10 as it is. Right, so we have corrected the mistake where we were subtracting it. We're not subtracting it, we're just leaving it as it is. All right, Tila, 61.
60.
Why?
Because the 1 is the weakest one.
Okay, that's how you learn it from school. That's fine. 1 is smaller than 5. Therefore, we're just going to leave the 6 as it is. Then the 1 will become a 0. All right, 88.
Nine.
Ninth, correct. Why?
Because the 8 is the strongest one.
I think I like how they teach it to you, eh? This is how I'm going to teach it from now on. I really like how they do it at your school. All right, Eric, 71.
70.
70. Because this one is smaller than a 5. Then we leave the 7 as it is. And we just add the 0. See, that's how I teach it. But I think I like the strongest one and the weaker one. It's just a whole lot easier. So let's move on to the cars again. Maybe let me just clear this up. Let's take a number from the cars, right? So we can see how many of us can afford the Veyron, the Avant. How do you say it? Aventador.
Avantador.
Aventador. The common Lamborghini when I was growing up was Murcielago. Let me see. I want to Google it. The Lamborghini Murcielago, but this was so long ago.
2000.
Yeah, the year 2001. Ah, so. One in yellow Lamborghini. Goodness, this is the Canimbao's Lamborghini. You guys are so blessed. You don't know who Canyimbao is.
Oh, I know that one.
You know this one. This is very famous. You know, all the people who had money sort of kind of wanted to drive this one with the gull wing doors. Man, after having seen this one, do you still prefer the Aventador? Hey, Eric. Let's look at the price then. Let's look at the price. Let's take. So
12,612 rands
and
and 68 cents.
cents. Yeah, that's cool, man. Up until yesterday, you didn't know what a cent looks like. So yeah, I'm just waiting for my Word document to load, so we could have this number on a Word document. At least my handwriting is better on a Word document. There you go. Cool. So we are going to paste this here, and I know a lot of people have eye problems, so to make the circle bigger. Right, okay. Let's just remove the cents because, you know, and in South Africa we use dollars. We use this. Sometimes they will give you a number like this, and then they will say, round off to the nearest 10. Okay. So what you do is you just look at the last two numbers. Forget about everything else. Just look at these two numbers. Sorry, my computer is misbehaving. As soon as it settles on one screen, we'll be able to do this. Let's share it. Okay. Okay, let's do this first. Round off to the nearest
10.
10. Yeah, but sometimes they give you a big number like this.
Or round out round off to the nearest 100 or
Yeah.
1,000 or 10,000.
Exactly. Let's start with 10. You have a big number like this, Mario, you're asked to round off to the nearest 10. When you're asked to round off to the nearest 10, just look at only these two numbers. Just imagine they have asked you to round off 12 to the nearest 10. What would the answer be?
12. The answer will be 600, 1,200, 600.
No, just forget about everything else. Just this two. If I asked you to round off 12 to the nearest 10, what would the answer be?
0.
No. No, you're overthinking it.
Or 10.
It'll be 10. Okay. This number is okay. It will be 10. So then you change the 10 and then everything else in front of that, you leave it as it is. So you actually were on the right path. So this would be 12,610 rounded off to the nearest 10 would be this number. 12,610. Okay. So if they're asking you to round off this number, the 1, the 10, you just look at this one, and then if it's the weakest link or the strongest one, you just change accordingly, and then everything else you put it the way it was. Same principle applies when we say, let's round it off to the nearest 100. It's the same number here. Let's round it off to the nearest 100. All right, Dile, please help us. 12,612 rounded off to the nearest 100. What is it?
Oh, snap. 12,600.
12,600. Because they are asking us to round off to the nearest 100, we are going to look at only these 3 digits. So we have our 6 here, which is 100. Then we will look at the tens. If the 10 is smaller than 5, then everything after the 10 becomes 0, 0. So in other words, 612, if we had 612, for instance, 612. So our 612 would become just 600. Then 12,000 will just remain as it is. Get the feeling you guys are not struggling with this, but it's always good to just remind ourselves. We'll probably give you guys a test tomorrow just to establish if we are on the right track.
And tomorrow we are writing a test of maths.
You're going to be writing a test about rounding off to the nearest. Brilliant. Simply brilliant. Okay, let's pay attention. Then we have the same number, because sometimes it appears like that in a test. They just give you the same number and they say this time around round off to the nearest 1,000. Eric, you want to help us? What would be the nearest 1,000 in 12,612?
10,612.
No. Okay. We are going to look at just these 2,612. You're going to stop at 1,000. So 1,000 is 2,612. Thereafter, you're not going to look at this 2, but you're going to look at the one just smaller than the 2, which is 6, the hundreds. Now, if the 100 is above you're going to add 1. If it's below, you're going to leave it as it is. So now, after I've explained this to you, would you like to give it another try? Please.
100. 1,300.
No. 13,000. I think in your head you have it right. You have a number like this, right? 1, 2, 3. So all these are going to become zeros. This one is going to become a 3.
To be.
Are you sure this is what you had in mind? All right, we still have 5 minutes or so. Let's do this. Let's do this. Maybe we'll win. Let me just stop share. I want us to go back to the cars. Look at the prices of the cars and dream some more, because I still want to dream some more. Let's take 28708. Where are we?
Okay.
Let's do this. 28708. Two eight seven 28708. This number. We're running out of time. We have like 5 minutes left. Let's do this in 5 minutes. Right. So the first one is round off to the nearest 10, round off to the nearest 100, and then round off to the nearest 1,000. Please shout when you're done, so we can at least touch on it, so that you're ready for it tomorrow. So A would be rounding off to the nearest 10.
Is going to be.
You have the answer, please help us. Answer 100. Okay, guys, let's go. Are you writing it down?
Yes. The answer.
The answer, yes. We are running out of time. I want us to at least have the answer before we leave, for your benefit, because you're writing a test tomorrow. Something like this might come up tomorrow. If you have an answer, just say you have an answer so we can go through it. We probably left with like 3 minutes now.
I have an answer for rounding off to the nearest 10.
Please give it to us.
8,710.
That is the correct answer. That is the correct answer. Let's move on to the nearest 100. So if you want to look for the nearest 100, let me give you a clue. You are going to look at this number. If it's the strongest link, you add 1 here. If it's the weakest link, you leave this as it is. But your answer will have 2 zeros because we are looking for 100. Pretty much I've given you an answer. Who wants to give us an answer?
I have an answer.
Please give us an answer.
I think it is 12,810.
You're looking for it. We're looking at this number. You're looking at a different number. We don't have 12,000. We have 28,708. That's what's showing on your screen. Okay.
I mean 28,810.
Okay, let's go. It cannot be 810. Remember, we're looking for 100. So your answer has to end with 2 zeros.
Oh, I think let me switch that.
You are on the right track. It's just that your answer has to have 2 zeros. Because we're looking for a nearest 100. All right, Julia, do you want to help?
Yes, Uncle.
Please do.
28,700.
28,700, you're right. Because this 0 is the weakest link, then we are going to leave this 7 as it is, and then these 2 are just going to go and become zeros. So this is why we have 700. What is 708? Rounded off to the nearest hundreds. What would it have been, Eric? How can I get a fella 708? Rounded off to the nearest hundreds.
Going to be 700.
700. Right, let's say 28,708 rounded off to the nearest 1,000. What will the answer be? Let's give it to Eric because you're the one writing tomorrow. We're trying to help you.
300. 300. I mean.
So your answer will have 3 zeros because we're looking for 1,000.
39. 30.
You're on the right track. Just finish off what you were going to say.
39,000.
No, 29,000. 29,000. This 3, forget it. It's get it 10,000 in these 3s. We're just looking for the 1,000 kitten. So that's the one that changes. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. Let's do this one very quickly. In 1 minute, let's do this one. In 1 minute. If you have an answer, give it to me. All right, if you have an answer, give it to me. We have seconds, literally, not even a minute. Round this to the nearest 10. All right, Jill.
34,570.
34,570. Fine. Let's round it off to the nearest 100.
34,000. 34,600.
600. Correct. Eric, give us the last one. Let's round off that to the nearest 1,000.
$30,569.
No, it's 35,000. Okay, we are going to need more time with you, Eric, on this one. But yeah, it is what it is. Guys, are you guys going to be in tomorrow? Or when are you are never in on Fridays?
I will ask my mother.
Okay, if you guys are not going to make it, just let me know up front so I don't schedule time and then I can also do other things, all right? Other than that, good night, guys, and I love you.
My mother said we are available on Saturdays too.
Okay, okay.